How about now? Can y'all hear now? Is there sound now? Y'all missed all of that then. I apologize. I apologize for that. Let me know if there's sound now. It should be fixed now. Hopefully, there's people here still. I sincerely apologize. Thanks for letting me know, Steve and Jeff, that there was no sound. But there should be sound now. We should have that fixed now. Kathy, if you're still here, is there sound now on YouTube? Okay. I got the sound fixed, I think. We sound good now? Let me start over. I'm glad you couldn't hear that. I got a phone call in the middle of the show. When you saw me playing with my phone, I was blocking somebody on Facebook. They were calling me during the show. They wanted to be on the show. And I appreciate that. And I want to take guests. In the future, we're going to take guests. If you can support our show and help us grow, please do. The links are in the description. But don't call me during the show. Come on, man. The phone rings. My phone's right here. I got to use my phone to look at comments. It's my other computer. Don't call me during the show. Call me after. Message me. Text me. Matter of fact, don't ever call me. Just message me. Just message me. That's the best way to get in touch with me. The best way to talk to me. And I hate that there was no audio because we had a slick little intro. We had music and everything. But it looks like we're good now. And I'm going to share it out and get some people in here. But I'm going to invite a few people. You do the same thing. Share it out. But I'm going to start over. So what I was saying is Tulsi looked great. Tulsi put on a great performance. Bernie did too. But they didn't get much time to talk. They were pretty much silenced. And they were effectively shut down. And then Tom Steyer. I'm up against Tim Black. And Tim Black's one of my heroes, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do a better show. I mean, sometimes me and Tim are going to go on against each other and you're going to have to make a decision. And in those moments, I want you to pick me. I want to be your go-to for entertainment from now on. So I knew that Tim would be live. And I'm not afraid. I'm gonna go forward. I believe that what I'm doing is on par and competes at a level that will be entertaining. But continuing forward, Tom Steyer, how did he get on the debate stage? He had to have bought his way up there. Now, I know he's paying pretty heavily for YouTube ads. He's got forced YouTube ads that you have to watch, that you cannot skip, 15-second YouTube ads. Those aren't cheap. He's got a ton of those. I've been seeing a lot of those just in regular listening to music on YouTube. I've been seeing Tom Steyer ads in everything. No matter what I'm watching, I'm getting Tom Steyer ads. So he was up there, and he got a lot of time. Why did they give Tom Steyer so much time? Why does Tom Steyer deserve so much time and such of a platform? You know? And again, I still feel really bad. I shouldn't, but I feel really bad about the audio problems in the beginning, but I'm glad it's working now. Dale says it sounds good. YouTube says it sounds good. Everybody's up and running. Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg. Let's talk a little bit about Pete Buttigieg real quick. There's 12 of these fools, so I got a whole list of how I think people did. But Buttigieg overtalked all the time. Every opportunity he got to speak, he overtalked. I think that's very unprofessional. I wonder a lot why they don't cut their mics. Elizabeth Warren did that too, but we'll get to that more when we get to Elizabeth Warren. But right now, Pete Buttigieg, he is a great talker, by the way. He is very good at selling bullshit. And that's what he's selling. He's selling complete garbage. Packaged up neat and nice. Medicare for all who want it. Oh, health care for anybody who wants it. Yeah, because there's people that don't want health care. He's such an idiot. And it's not about being able to afford it. It's about being fleeced for health insurance, Pete. You're missing the point, Pete. You're trying to slam Bernie and call it a pipe dream, but you're trying to keep alive the greed-driven system that is sucking people dry. Cameron says he's a product of the military-industrial complex. That brings me to what I was going to ask. Is Pete Buttigieg CIA? Now, you wouldn't hear that on a regular news show, but you will hear that on Hindsight News. That's the kind of stuff we talk about. This guy is highly coached, highly polished. And that could be from a lifetime of being in politics. It all could be on the up and up, or he could be a CIA shill. You know? He's also in the pockets of Wall Street, Cameron says. I have no doubt of that. No doubt of that at all. But he's very, very polished. And if there was a winner tonight, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. I'll get to the rest of the candidates. But if there was a winner tonight, I got to say it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the winner of the debates. Donald Trump got more publicity tonight than he could ever pay for. More free publicity. Donald Trump got his name out a ridiculous amount tonight. And my son is in there singing Pearl Jam, so I hope you can't hear that. I haven't soundproofed the studio yet, but you probably can hear it. And if you can, he rocks. So you're going to love it, and it'll be fun to listen to during the show. And Jeff says, why not? Anderson Cooper is CIA. Anderson Cooper is, and was one of our great hosts tonight. Wasn't he fantastic at keeping Bernie and Tulsi from talking? They barely got any time. Tom Steyer got more time. Cory Booker got more time than Bernie Sanders or Tulsi. And Booker seemed to be there to try to get everybody to stop fighting. That seemed to be Booker's message. And he implied that Bernie was responsible for Hillary's loss in 2016 because he disagreed with Hillary, because he pointed out that Hillary was a shitty candidate. I don't know exactly, but he implied that Bernie was responsible and that the bickering, inter-party bickering, and pointing out when someone's a shill or someone's corrupt or someone's sold out, and saying that that's the wrong thing to do, that we shouldn't be fighting. We're having a debate. We're choosing the best candidate. Can we not choose the best candidate? Can we not vet the candidates? Can we not figure out what the best way to move forward is? Or do we have to be ignorant and not fight? Get along. Everybody just get along. You know? And Trump won the debate. Trump won the debate. Hold on a second. This makes me mad. This really. All right, I'm a big fan of his, but I had to tell him to stop singing so loud. He loves Pearl Jam. His favorite band is Pearl Jam, and he loves Eddie Vedder. And he wants to sing for Pearl Jam. And that wouldn't happen on Tim Black. You want to go watch that show? You want to watch a professional, polished show? That's what people would want you to watch. You're going to watch this show because this show is hosted by a stand-up comic that follows the news and is a student of history and loves conspiracies and loves to tell the truth. Yeah, I was easy on him. I just pulled his headphone out. He rocks out with headphones in. He puts the headphones in and then rocks out to Pearl Jam and sings along. He gets way into it too. He's way into it. But Beto. Let's talk about Beto for a second. Let's get off Booker. Tim Black is devolved. Tim Black is... I've been studying Tim Black because he's popular. I bet he's got 50 people at his feed. But one day I will too. And this is going to be my job now moving forward. And you'll be seeing a lot more of me. But let's get to Beto for a second. Why did he keep using Spanish at weird times? Why does he do that? And he's boring to watch. Jeff says, Tim who? Exactly. Stay here with me. He's boring to watch. He offers nothing as far as entertainment value or as far as inspiration. He doesn't speak to me in any way. When he's talking, I find myself zoning out. But he throws out weird Spanish, and is that to pull you back in? Is that what he's doing it for? Or is he doing it just to pander? Is that the only reason? He's just pandering to the Spanish-speaking citizens with that. I don't fully know what he's doing there. But Grandpa Biden, I saw people debating on what he was going to do at the debate. If he was pressured, if he was going to summon corn pop, if he was going to, what he was going to resort to. But what he seemed to resort to is his old standard of defending Obama. He defends everything that Obama ever did and takes credit for everything Obama ever did. And pretends that he was responsible for everything Obama ever did. But none of the bad things. Biden doesn't want any responsibility for the bad things. And a couple people, including Bernie, attacked Biden and pointed out that he's responsible for the Iraq War, the Patriot Act. I don't know if Bernie said the Patriot Act, but he said the war. And other people exposed that Biden was responsible for a lot of really bad stuff. And then Andrew Yang. How does he keep getting up in the debates, by the way? How does Andrew Yang keep getting on the debate stage? Does he really have that much support? Does Andrew Yang really have this huge amount of support to be down to the final 12? The fact that there's still 12 is just sad, and there's only so many because they want to dilute the field. That's the only reason why there's so many running. It's just to dilute the field and to silence Bernie and Tulsi, which is what they did tonight. They effectively silenced Bernie and Tulsi. That's why I was disappointed in the debate. Bernie and Tulsi stayed on message. They both gave a strong performance, but they were effectively silenced. Elizabeth Warren, she came off to me very weak under pressure. She folded a lot under pressure, and her voice was, well, it's always shaky, but it got really shaky at times. And so did her confidence. And she refused to answer the specific question of, will there be tax increases under Medicare for all? And yes, there will. It's a yes answer, Elizabeth, a yes answer. She danced around it. She wouldn't answer. Now that brings us to Amy Klobuchar, and we're almost done. There's 12 of these fools. Then we're going to get to what they talked about. We're going to get to everything. So share this out. Get more people in here. I'm trying to grow this into a news channel, so we got to grow this channel. But Cameron says Yang is there to dilute the time and wouldn't answer questions. And he got a lot of time. He gets a lot of focus. That bugs me. That makes me suspicious of him. Because UBI is a scam. Going back to Andrew Yang for just a second. We'll get back to Amy Klobuchar. But UBI is a scam. UBI is not the answer to our problems. It is not the correct answer going forward. And it's something the elite have been pushing for a while. Mark Zuckerberg is very big in pushing UBI on the public. It's not somewhere we want to head. It's not somewhere we want to go. And Jeff says, how can a billionaire be allowed to buy their way on stage, yet Mike Gravel wasn't allowed on the last debate? Yeah, and he made the qualifications, but they made up some BS rule at the last minute to keep him off the stage. Cameron says, why the F is Klobuchar even there? Delusion. Oh, it's all delusion. They're all up there to dilute the field. They want to keep Bernie from getting 51%, I think. And they're not gonna. They're gonna fail. They're going to fail to stop this revolution. This revolution is going to be successful. I host the Daily Burn, and I'm not just saying that because I have a Bernie show. I'm saying it because I believe it. This is the way change happens, the way change has always happened throughout history, and this is the way it's going to happen. We're going to be successful. And I fully believe that. But the last person, Klobuchar, I wanted to talk about her. She is a lying shill. And she is a delusion from Bernie. She tries to pair it on to a lot of what Bernie says and a lot of Bernie's messages and ideas, but then she tries to slander him at the same time, if you notice this. She will talk out of both sides of her mouth. And Klobuchar, I'm bad at saying names. You know that, Jeff. You'll get used to that too. That's the thing. We will be professional. We will be polished. But I will stay true to my roots. I'm a regular guy talking to you about real events. I dig. I do research. I love doing that. That's my side thing. I enjoy it. It's my hobby. and I've figured out how to turn it into a job. So this is my part-time job. I'm going to get news for you and research things and do this kind of stuff. But I probably will never learn how to say certain people's names. And I'm definitely not going to learn how to say Amy Klobuchar's name because I ain't going to need to remember it. She may write a book, but I ain't going to read it. That brings us to Kamala Harris. And the only thing I wrote down about Kamala Harris was that she reminds me of Halle Berry. Am I the only one that is reminded of Halle Berry every time she talks? She sounds exactly like Halle Berry. Exactly like her. It's freaky to me. But now let's get into what they talked about at the debate. There was a lot of topics that got thrown around at the debate. And, they didn't give, like I said, they didn't give Bernie and Tulsi a lot of time. But Bernie and Tulsi capitalized well on the time that they were given. I wouldn't call them the winners of the debates. Again, I would say Donald Trump won the debate. Donald Trump was the big winner of the night. Donald Trump got more free publicity than he could possibly ever ask for. And there is no such thing as bad publicity. So them being up there going, Donald Trump's evil, Donald Trump's evil. There are certain people that are hearing that and eating it up with a spoon. There was a Trump fan at my watch party, a friend of mine, and I liked that he was there. But they love it. They love the Democrats falling all over themselves in fear of Donald Trump. And they love that they can't focus or think outside of that fear. They absolutely love it. But so Trump, I think, was the winner of the debate. Trump actually won the night, and he was their main focus. No matter what they were talking about, they tended to focus on Donald Trump and try to bring it back always to, this is how we beat Donald Trump. This is how we win. We can't beat Donald Trump unless this. It was all Donald Trump. Donald Trump got mentioned probably 150 times. It was like counting the N-word in a Quentin Tarantino movie. Donald Trump's name got mentioned that many times in tonight's Democratic debate. It's the Democratic debate, and they're spending all their time talking about Donald Trump. Jeff says anyone but Bernie. That's right. That's what the flooded Democratic field is for, to stop Bernie. And they're not trying to stop Bernie. They're trying to stop us. Cameron says Orange Man bad. Yeah, they don't want you to think. That's all they got is Donald Trump is bad. We're not Donald Trump. Vote for us. And then they touched on some good things. Like they touched on breaking up these social media monopolies. That's a big issue. For a content creator like me, that's a huge issue. If Facebook throttles me or shuts me down, or YouTube throttles me or shuts me down, I'm done. I can't get out to anybody without a platform. And they have a monopoly on those particular platforms. And that needs to stop. That needs to end. Or we need to make them a service, a utility. Give them government protections so that they can't be taken away from you. You know how like the phone company doesn't pay attention to what you talk about on the phone? You're just allowed to talk on the phone as long as you pay your bill. Should be the same thing with this. I should be able to do this, and then you should be able to choose whether or not you want to watch it. Then it should die or survive based on that. But Spirit of Admentos says Beto is being a poser. And UBI, everyone wants free stuff. He didn't say stuff, but I'm trying to clean up my act. Even though I have cussed a couple times. If Elizabeth comes, I'm sorry. If you pick me over Tim Black tonight, I'm sorry. By the way, Tim Black's not even on. He canceled his feed tonight, so come on over here. Hang out with us. But UBI, everyone wants free stuff. Do you think the same thing about Bernie? Do you think that Bernie supporters want free stuff? Can I ask you that? Are you still here? But we had some sound problems at the beginning. We ran off some people. Plus, my son was having a rock concert. We ran off some more people with that. We had a few hiccups, but we're talking about the debate. We're hanging out. So share, get this out. This is Hindsight News, and we're doing a debate wrap-up party. Just giving my views and my thoughts on how the debate went. And just to let you know, for the most part, I was disappointed. Very disappointed in the debate. Pretty much what I expected. You got a CIA establishment shill hosting it, Anderson Cooper. I got pretty much what I expected. And Bernie and Tulsi got out what I expected. I would have rather Tulsi went after Warren than Buttigieg. But Buttigieg made a mistake going into Tulsi's wheelhouse. He should have never questioned her on war. But I know, like someone mentioned earlier, that he is a military-industrial complex mouthpiece. He does push the military-industrial complex agenda and represents their interests. But Bernie went on the attack a few times. I wanted to talk about that for a minute. Bernie attacked Biden, and he attacked the Democratic Party and called them out of touch on health care. That they weren't in touch with what the people wanted, and they weren't representing the people. He called them out. Bernie doesn't usually do that, but he went on the attack. This stint made Bernie more aggressive, it seems. But all Biden wants to do is defend Obamacare, and he thinks everybody likes it. He thinks everybody wants Obamacare. No one likes Obamacare but the health insurance corporations and all of those that wrote it. That's who likes Obamacare. That's who wants Obamacare, and that's who wants Obamacare to thrive. And he's in the pocket of those people. And that's why there's no way I would ever want Joe Biden to represent me in any form, any way, shape, or form at all. But he thinks everybody loves Obamacare, that everybody wants Obamacare, that it needs to protect Obamacare. That all he wants to do is rest, like I said, on Obama and Obama's legacy, which he thinks is great. Well, it's not. If you really look into Obama's legacy, it's not great. He presided over 8 wars, and he killed more people with drones than any other president, including George W. Bush, who everyone's mad at that Ellen went to a football game or whatever game with George W. Bush and was photographed and said he's her friend. So much so that they made it the final topic of the debate tonight. That was disgusting, I thought. You know, and it is disgusting that Ellen's friends with George W. Bush, and he's a war criminal. You know, and them pretending that it's okay at the end and making it even more okay by having everyone give an example of a friend that they've worked with that would surprise you. And a lot of them use John McCain, including Bernie, used John McCain. Now, John McCain, another war criminal. So, I got to look down on that. But Cameron says, yes, they want to censor free speech. Oh, they're throttling me. They will throttle. They will hold back as much as they can. But now I'm doing this professionally, and I'll do all I can to build this audience. I'll scrape and claw. We'll climb our way to the top. But if you want to support us on Patreon. The link's in the description. And hey, Jay. What's up, Jay? I hope Jay stayed. Cameron says, Obama being the Nobel Peace Prize winner with a kill list. Yeah. Obama killed more people than any other president in our history. And he has a Nobel Peace Prize. And they didn't take it away. Do they take those away? They should take that one away. You're celebrating a man that doesn't need to be celebrated because he's smooth. Same as Clinton. Clinton was smooth. Clinton went down easy. You know what I mean? But he turned the Democratic Party into the Republican Party. He pushed the Democratic Party farther right than they've ever been, and they've never recovered from it. They've never come back from there. That's thanks to Bill Clinton. Very popular president. So much so that his wife was almost able to swindle her way into the White House. But her plans got derailed at the last second. And the other thing I wrote down here in my notes during the debate was, why didn't they ever cut Warren's mic? Why did they let Elizabeth Warren go over her time so often? Why were they doing that? I couldn't understand why they didn't cut her mic. You know, they did cut a mic at a certain point. Whose mic was it that they cut? Was it Yang's mic? They've cut Yang's mic before, but I don't think it was Yang. I think, who was talking? They did cut a mic, but they never cut Warren's mic. And they really want you to believe that Elizabeth Warren is your front runner. Elizabeth Warren? She's got no spine, no backbone. She's boring to watch. There's no way she is your front runner. No way in hell. I'm not believing that at all. But I'm going to share this one more time. I'm going to make one more attempt to get some viewers in here, but we're going to keep going no matter what. We're going to do a whole show here. Jay, if you're still here, share it out. Get some people in here. Whoever's here, share it out. I'm going to find a really good group and do a watch party. Watch parties work amazing. They really do. I just got to find a good group. We'll go with Eeny, meeny, miny, moes. Look at this. Then we'll go with that one. All right, so Buttigieg. I got it wrote down that he's so highly polished. That's suspicious to me. And they pushed Roe versus Wade fear. That, I think, is something like along the lines with gun control. They push fear of gun control, too, a lot. You'll see that. But I don't think anyone's ever going to come for women's rights. I don't think that Roe versus Wade will ever be overturned. You know, they asked all the candidates what they thought of Roe versus Wade and how they would protect Roe versus Wade and what they would do with the Supreme Court to protect Roe versus Wade moving forward. I don't think Roe versus Wade is in any danger, but they'll scare you and make you think that it is. They'll lead you to believe that it is, but I don't think that it is. I mean, just like I don't think your guns are in any danger. I'm banned on Twitter from sharing. Huh. Okay. So I got banned on Twitter during this broadcast. I don't know if I'm still live on Periscope, but I got banned on Twitter. That's good to know. I'm getting shut down everywhere I go. I'm really having a hard time, and I even wore a tie. You know, like I said, if I was sitting here petting a kitten, all I'm trying to do is talk about the Democratic debate. I didn't even mention that Israel owns the United States. I didn't say anything out of bounds yet. At least give me a chance to break a rule before you ban me. But let's see. So the Roe versus Wade free, we talked about that. Russiagate got a big platform tonight. Russia. They're still trying to push and prove that Russia had something to do with rigging the election. Russia didn't have anything to do with rigging the election. But they still got all these shills up there talking about Russia. And none of them are talking about election integrity or paper ballots or doing something about our rigged system. You know, if they really cared about that stuff, then that's what they would be talking about. They would be doing something about that, pushing us towards that. You know, but you didn't hear any talk of that, you know. And that proves to me that they don't really care. You're not looking to protect anything. You know, no one's talking about making Election Day a national holiday where everybody gets the day off work and making voting simple and easy to do. You don't hear anybody talking about that stuff. That's the important stuff. That's what we need to talk about. Somebody on Periscope, let me know if we're still live on Twitter, because I think Twitter got shut down. But let me know if we're still live on Twitter and what's going on with that. But if you're on Facebook, comment. Let me know anything you want to talk about. What did you think of the debate? I want to hear from you. I work better when there's comments and I have stuff to talk about. But again, ending with the Ellen and George W., that was tacky to me. Ellen going to football games and hanging out with George W. Bush is disgusting. And she should own up to that and admit that there's something wrong with being friends. I don't care that he paints puppies now. Just like Barack Obama. Very smooth. Celebrities love Barack Obama. Can we talk about them? You know, George W. Bush has a bad rap. He deserves it. He's a bad man. Did a lot of bad things. But so did Barack Obama. He just did it in a really polished and really pristine package. So it was sold to you and you bought it up and you ate it up. But Barack Obama was just as guilty, killed more people, did more than George W. Bush. You know, and George W. Bush is responsible for putting everything in motion and starting this endless war in the Middle East. But every president since him, including Obama, has kept it going and kept it growing. So Obama is not innocent in any way. But Jeff says Obama, 7 wars, Republican health care plan, bailed out the banks. Cameron says 108 billion in Saudi weapon sales. Obama? Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Founded ISIS. Obama just sold it in a really shiny package. Just like Bill Clinton. He got you to vote against your best interests by playing the sax and being cool. Bill Clinton was very suave. You know, remember that? Everyone liked Bill Clinton. He was very cool, very polished. But he was a Republican, a wolf in sheep's clothing, and he took the Democratic Party so far to the right that they are unrecognizable now. And then the right went crazy. They didn't know what to do. The Democrats were infringing on their turf, and they lost their mind. I'm going to try to share YouTube. I'll share it to Facebook, see if I can get some people here on YouTube. YouTube's growing. I'm trying to grow my YouTube. If you're here on YouTube, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, but we got a lot of cool shows. This is Hindsight News. This is our news show. We're doing a Democratic wrap-up of the debate. But we have all kinds of shows. We got a ranch show. We got a talk show. We got a conspiracy theory show that we do on Wednesday nights. We got a ton of shows. So subscribe and follow our content. But comment. And on Periscope, Periscope's a quiet bunch. You guys comment too. But Cameron says he built the fences and redrew the border. He put little kids in cages too. Obama did these things as well. This stuff didn't start under President Trump. But all they wanted to talk about tonight is how they're not President Trump and how they're going to beat President Trump. Well, all they're really trying to do is beat Bernie. That's all I saw on that stage tonight was a bunch of shills trying to stop Bernie Sanders. And when they're trying to stop Bernie Sanders, they're not really trying to stop Bernie Sanders. They're trying to stop us. That's what they're trying to stop. They're trying to put a stop to us and our revolution, which is being successful. We talk about it every morning on the Daily Burn, but we're winning. We are the front runners. Bernie is the front runner, and he barely got any attention tonight. Do you really believe that Biden and Warren are front runners? Do you believe they have any support? Any real support? I don't. But I don't believe the media. I don't believe anything the media tells me. Hey, Cindy, good to see you here. Comment anything you want to talk about. How do you think Bernie did in the debate tonight? How do you think Tulsi did? Who do you think won the debate? I think Donald Trump won the debate. I think Donald Trump was the big winner of the debate. And all they wanted to do was talk about Donald Trump. So that made me sad. They got to focus on something other than Donald Trump. Not being Donald Trump will not win the election. It's not enough. And the Trump fan that was at the feed at my watch party was eating it up. Oh, he loves it. Run on that. Run a shill. Run one of those corporate shills on a I'm Not Trump platform, and they will get slaughtered by Donald Trump. Donald Trump has real support. People need to understand and realize that. You know, I don't support Donald Trump, but he does have real support. He really does. And he will crush any of those establishment shills. Any of them. Warren, Buttigieg, Harris, Booker. Especially Biden. Biden stands up there and talks about Trump doesn't want any part of him. Oh, you think Corn Pop scared you. Trump will tear you to shreds. Already has. You're done. Joe Biden is done. He shouldn't even been on that stage tonight. He don't have a legitimate chance of being president. You know, I don't care if Trump broke the law. We need to talk about what he exposed. Let's talk about that for a minute. Cindy says, we the people can and will make the difference. Thanks for being here. You go, Sean Yankee. Thank you. He does, and that is why we have to give it all we have. I feel the same as you do. Warren and Biden will not win. They will lose. If you're blue no matter who, I shared this to some politics groups. Let's say you're blue no matter who. You don't believe in this political revolution. You're choosing to lose. You know, I don't fully agree with Bernie all the time, but I understand what's happening. I understand that historically this is how change takes place. and I want to be a part of it. I want to do all I can to help it take place and to make it happen. But those other shills on that stage, they're there to stop Bernie Sanders. They're not there. They're not even really running for president. And I'm including Andrew Yang. I think Andrew Yang is, I think he's establishment plant to sell UBI to the people. I think that's why he's on stage. I think he's there to sell the American people on universal basic income. And I hope it doesn't work, because that is a dead end. There is no prosperity down that path. Is there really no one here on YouTube? Somebody on YouTube say something. Otherwise, I'm going to believe that I crashed on YouTube. Somebody over on YouTube say something. But on Facebook, let me see who's here. We got a few people here. Cindy says, never lose your sense of outrage. Never lose your sense of outrage. And that's what Cory Booker seemed to want everybody to do, is to lose their sense of outrage, to not cause a fuss, to not say and point out the Democrats' shortcomings, and that Bernie's wrong to do that. He was heavily implying that Bernie's wrong to point out the shortcomings of the Democratic Party. You want to win, don't you? We're having a primary. We're in the primary. We're trying to pick the best candidate and the best path moving forward. We're going to have to face reality of what the people want. If you want to win, you're going to have to listen to the people, and the people want massive change. That's how Donald Trump got elected. Not everybody that voted for Donald Trump's a bad person. Donald Trump became president because the Democrats rigged their primary, and regular Americans are through with the BS. They don't trust politicians. They went with the reality TV star. Do you understand? And they love him. They love him. That's the other part. You need to understand that Donald Trump has real support. And if you want to beat him, there's one candidate up there that can beat him. And it's Bernie Sanders. And the only thing they have on him is his age. And that's a non-issue. That's a non-issue. And no matter how you feel politically, change happens when millions of people stand united and demand it. It's happening right now. So can we bicker about the things that you maybe don't agree with later on down the road and make this change happen right now, in the moment, while we're doing it? Can we do that? Can we just win this fight and then argue over what you don't agree with? Let's say you have a problem with the gun control. One of Bernie's platforms is he wants to ban assault rifles. Let's say that's a big problem for you. Can't we bicker about that later? They're never coming for your guns. They use it against you to get you not to think. They want you voting against your own best interest, doing things that go against what benefits you, what benefits the people. And what's in the people's best interest right now is Bernie Sanders, no matter how you feel politically, because massive change needs to take place. I believe a revolution needs to take place. And what's taking place right now is a political revolution. If you're left-leaning, why aren't you a Bernie Sanders supporter? I don't understand. If you really do support Elizabeth Warren, if you really do support Joe Biden, I don't believe they have any real support, but if you do, if you really support them, why? Do you think they really can win? Do you think Elizabeth Warren can stand up to Donald Trump? I think we crashed on YouTube. I'm not getting any comments from YouTube. So I'm going to try to refresh YouTube and see if it refreshes. But Elizabeth Warren, you think she's going to stand up to Donald Trump? Absolutely not. She's got no backbone. They made an action figure of Elizabeth Warren, but they made it wrong because it stands up straight. Elizabeth Warren has no backbone. She will not fight for any of these things. We have no faith in Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is a wolf in sheep's clothing, a fake progressive, and we know this. She can't win. Joe Biden can't win. Joe Biden is imploding, has imploded long ago. He should have been done with the corn pop story. But this Ukraine stuff has to be enough to end Joe Biden. Joe Biden is done. Whether what Trump did to get the information was illegal or not, Joe Biden himself should be done. And if you believe they have real support because the media is telling you that they do, I have to really worry about you, because the media has done nothing but lie to you since the 50s. The media is weaponized propaganda. The media is a weapon that is used against us every day, nonstop. It's weaponized propaganda, and that was made legal by Obama as well. I'm getting a warning on YouTube. I refreshed it. We're still there. Looks like nobody's here, but if you come in on YouTube, comment. Take part in the show. We always participate. I always like audience comments. And I always do better if there's people talking. Alexander says, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will endorse Bernie Sanders in the New York Times. Really? Cindy says, I have to get up early in the morning, but hopefully we can do a show together. Let us be the media. We can and we will win. Cindy does a Bernie show, Bernie Time. I love it. It is the cutest thing ever. She's got great spirit and does an independent show for Bernie Sanders. And that's what we got to do. We got to do stuff like that. We got to be the media. And support independent shows. When you find a good one that you like, support it. Like if you can support our show, please do. The links are in the description if you can support us and help us grow. Because, I want to do this going forward professionally, and I want to bring you the news stories that you want to see. I want to cover the shows you want to see. I want to do the things you want to know. So let me know what you want. Wednesday night, real quick. Wednesday night, we got a new episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. We're covering underground bunkers and bases, and that'll be at 8 p.m. Wednesday night. But the Daily Burn we do every day at 7 p.m. And this is Hindsight News, so I'm trying to stay impartial a little bit, but I'm definitely left-leaning. If the mainstream media can do it, I can do it. If they can be left and right-leaning, so can I. I'm left-leaning. So Hindsight News is a left-leaning show. Maybe one day down the road I'll get a contributor that's right-leaning, and we'll get both perspectives in here. But Cindy says, there's the link to the article. AOC endorses Bernie Sanders. Sweet. That's good to know. That's good news. She's got a huge following. People mock her and make fun of her, but they don't take her seriously. She's got a huge following, and I've seen people say that maybe she's some kind of disinformation agent or something's not on the up and up with her, but I like her. I like her, and she's spreading a positive message. So, yeah, it's weird that she got famous so fast, but, not always when that happens is it something shady going on. Sometimes it's just somebody got famous. But sometimes when the cameras are pointed at everything, I understand why it gets your fur up. But I think she's just capitalized and is selling the message that everybody wants. And if more politicians would run on that platform, they would have tremendous success as well. That's what AOC has done. That's what Bernie's doing, because that's what the people want. The people want this massive change. 70% of the people are in support of Medicare for all. 70% want Medicare for all. It's something that the people want. But Buttigieg and Biden will stand up there on the stage and tell you over and over again, nobody wants it. Or Medicare for all, who want it? Like anybody is standing around going, I don't need health care. I don't want health care. I don't worry about my health care. I don't worry about my health. I don't have those silly concerns. I'm immortal. I'm going to live forever. Everybody needs health care. Everybody needs insurance. It's something that affects everyone, and 70% of Americans are in favor of it. But they'd have you believe that it's impossible. And not only that it's impossible, but that Medicare for all means everyone's on the same insurance. And people will try to scare you. You won't be able to pick your doctor. If you're a doctor in the United States and you're not taking Medicare for all, you're an out-of-business doctor. Everyone will be on the same insurance. It's not the government picking your health care. There's only one health care. They just negotiate the prices and stop this fleecing that the pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry is doing to the American people. We're paying 16 times more than they are in other countries for the same medicine. Why are we allowing that? Why are we allowing this greed-based system? Yes, it's going to die, but it needs to die. It needs to be taken down. And that's what we're coming to do. And we're not coming to ask. We're not coming to look for middle ground. We're not coming to negotiate. We're coming to take this. To take it. And that's what this revolution's about. And that's what we talk about in the Daily Burn. But I won't get too political. Because like I said, I am left-leaning. But as far as the debates go, I think we covered everything with that. I was disappointed. I was disappointed in him. And Tom Steyer, I don't understand how he got on the stage. He had to have bought it. And how does Andrew Yang keep meeting the requirements? Somebody let me know where all this support for Andrew Yang's coming from. Is it all young people? I know a lot of young people love Andrew Yang, and he's very popular on Twitter. Do not speak poorly of Andrew Yang on Twitter. You will get torn apart by the Yang Gang. The Yang Gang are ferocious. People think that Bernie people are ferocious. The Yang Gang will rip you to shreds. I'm going to do something unprofessional, but I made it a whole hour. If Lori was here, Lori would tell you you should be proud of me. I'll take this opportunity to tell everyone that this is the worst thing that is legal in this country. If I could make one thing illegal, if we want to talk about something they should have talked about at the debates, cannabis should be legal and this should be illegal. These should be illegal. I'm so addicted to these. I can't quit. Cameron says the DNC allowed her to run on that platform. They know what a winning platform is and copied it. They had to screw Bernie to win 2016. Line to be speaker by being the second largest DNC fundraiser. Oh, AOC took out Crowley, who was in line to be speaker. I like AOC. I've heard people say negative things about her, or they say they don't trust her, but I like her. I like her, and I think she's an ally. I like that she's getting the message out. Anybody that's getting the message out and helping to wake people up, I'm in favor of. But let me know what you want to talk about before we wrap up. But I just thought it was really tacky. Just to close out, I thought it was really tacky that they ended on the tell me about a weird friend you have because of Ellen being friends with George W. Bush. Being friends with George W. Bush is not okay. It's not acceptable. Cameron says I'm about to have one now. Yeah, go ahead and light up. This is the time where you just burn one. It's late. It's 11 o'clock here. I'm about to go to bed. This is our first Hindsight News special report. And outside of audio glitches at the very beginning, it was a huge success. I was talking to myself for about 3 minutes. I didn't realize there was no audio. But that's the challenges of live. That's the fun of live. So if you were here for that, I apologize for that, and I apologize to everybody on all three platforms. You were listening to me talk to myself for 3 minutes in silence. And the whole intro was silent as well. Oh, that was from Babels. Brent says she's a badass. Who's a badass? Tulsi? AOC. Oh, AOC is a badass. Hey, Brent, good to see you. Plug your show if you want. Brent has a show. I did a panel with Brent on a... No, I was gonna do. We did, didn't we? I can't remember. I get so confused. I got too much stuff going on. There's way too much me out there. I got 5 shows. I'm overperforming. But I'm a giver. I'm a giver. And I try to give y'all what you want. So let me know what you want to talk about. Right now we've been talking about AOC. We've been talking about the debates. We've been talking about how I was disappointed, how it was all about Donald Trump. That Donald Trump was the real winner of the debates. And Russiagate and propaganda, that all won out. Bernie stayed on point. Tulsi did great. Proud of both of them. But the establishment shills did what they're up there to do. They took the message and the focus away from Bernie. And then when he got to speak, when he got to lay something out, they tried to muddy the water. That's what they're there for. That's what they're doing. But let me know what you want to talk about in the comments. Anything about the debate. Let me know what you thought about the debate. I don't want to just go on and on about it. But Brett says, yeah, we did. Yeah, you were on that panel for Robert's show. My friend Robert Stanley's show, Right to Reason. I don't know why I do that. I always plug his show, but I love his show. I listen to his show all the time. And I want to support independent creators. Because I'm an independent creator. And I've learned a lot from Robert. And I've learned a lot from other people. I learn by watching. I study like Tim Black and Jimmy Dore. And I try to learn because, like I said, I'm going to do this professionally moving forward. We had our official launch this afternoon. And we launched all of our show schedules and all of that moving forward and made all those announcements. And I'm real excited about all of that. And we got our first patron. Thank you, Kathy, for being the first patron. Patreon is a subscription service where you can support creators and content creators. And we have a Patreon. And our first supporter just joined the fight in the pursuit of spreading the truth. What we're trying to do here, spread the truth and get the truth out and grow a news network and an entertainment network for you guys. And that's what I'm trying to build here. And Kathy was the first to put in and decide she wanted to be a part of supporting that. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I would say your whole name, but I don't want to blast you on the internet, but thank you. I really appreciate it. And you showing that you believe in the show really means the world to me. And if you ever need anything, let me know. Winner of the debate, Russia did it. Oh, man. Elizabeth, good to see you. But yeah, all they wanted to talk about was Russia and Trump. And when they get to an important issue, like the media, the social media monopolies, when they would get to an important issue, they would just bail on it. They wouldn't spend any time. They wouldn't focus on it. That was frustrating me to no end. It was really bothering me. But what did you guys think of the debate? Who did you think won? If I had to pick a winner, being serious, right? I said Donald Trump. But if I had to really pick a winner, I would bet that the media is going to say Buttigieg. However you say his name. Buttigieg? I don't know. I used to think it was Buttigieg. Because I saw that in a meme, and I really thought that was how you say his name, Buttigieg. But it's like Buttigieg or something. Buttigieg. I don't know. But people will say he won, I think. He had the most polished performance for sure. So he won in that way. He definitely had a polished performance. But Andrew Yang did well too, I just hope people realize that UBI is a black hole. That is not a future that we want. And, Spirit of His Mentos on YouTube. I love the usernames on YouTube, by the way. Thinks that UBI is because everybody wants free stuff. UBI is because automation is going to replace us. The elite are wanting to put us on an allowance. UBI is an allowance that they're going to place us on moving forward. That's what UBI is. And then social programs go away under UBI. There's more to the story, and Andrew Yang's not telling you the whole story. But he's up there trying to muddy the waters while selling UBI to the average person with no intention of winning. He doesn't have any fantasy that he's going to win and become president. He knows he's not. He's taking your money. If you're a Yang ganger and you're giving Andrew Yang all your money, you're throwing it down. You might as well be flushing it down the toilet. His whole purpose is to sell UBI to the American people, to get it out there, to get the young people talking about it. That's what he's doing. But Cameron says a $12,000 bribe while everything goes up to compensate for it. I'm not sure what he was talking about. There's a delay. There's like a 10-second delay from what I'm saying to what you're saying. So, sorry about that. I wasn't able to make out exactly what you were talking about there, but I want to hear from you guys. I got a few shares I'm looking at, trying to follow the comments. And I'm still not getting anybody on YouTube. YouTube is growing slow. They're going to get used to me on YouTube, but I've just started streaming on YouTube and Periscope because those are babies. We've got people here on Periscope, but Periscope are always quiet. It's funny because Twitter, that's Periscope, Twitter is Periscope. And people on Twitter just run their mouth. That's what Twitter is, but they don't talk much in a live feed. Because there's like 4 people here on Periscope, but no one's talking. What are you saying? Pronounce Buttigieg. Oh, I thought you were like speaking Japanese. I didn't know what you were doing. Buttigieg. Buttigieg. I don't care how you say his name. He'll write a book. He'll go away. He's up there to muddy the field. And I think he shows all the signs of being a CIA shill. A plant. He's so polished. But I think if you were going to pick a winner, when the media picks their winner, they'll probably go with Buttigieg. But Harris did poorly. Harris bores me. The only thing I think about when Harris is talking is Halle Berry. Kamala Harris reminds me of Halle Berry. And I think of Halle Berry whenever she's talking. That's all I think about. And if they ever make a movie about Kamala Harris called The Prosecutor or I Locked Up, a ton of minorities, or whatever the name of the movie is or ends up being, they need to get Halle Berry to play Kamala Harris because she would nail it. She would nail it. She really would. Brent says, I think they all know they're being televised, and if they can harp at how corrupt the president is given the current evidence, they feel like it's something that should be the center of their arguments during the debate. I get it. I get why they're talking about Trump, but we're not facing Trump yet. We're picking the best candidate. We're vetting the candidates in the Democratic Party. Tell me about what you offer, what you bring to the table. We can't spend the whole debate talking about Trump. And if I was the candidates up there, I would have tried to redirect. Even though the hosts were trying to make it about Trump, I would have tried to redirect. And, instead of Booker saying we shouldn't bicker among the left, and that's causing divides and et cetera, and that's a bad thing, we shouldn't be bickering about Donald Trump right now, is what I would say. There's much more important things to talk about than Donald Trump in the Democratic debate. But they focus mostly on Donald Trump and then Russia rigging the election without mentioning election integrity at all, ever. No one spoke of paper ballots or any reform to the election system. They wanted to talk about how rigged it was, but nothing about what they're going to do. But Jeff says tonight was a waste of oxygen on the debate stage. That is the basic summary of the night. It was a waste of oxygen, a waste of time. I was trying to live tweet it. It was so boring. It was unbelievably boring. It was very disappointing. But this feed was to talk about it, and I have talked and talked and talked about it. Let me know if you think what you thought of the debate, what you want to talk about before we wrap up. Anything at all. Real quick, I'll just let you know, Conspiracy Theories and Chill will be live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And the video is going to be on underground bunkers and bases. That's going to be the topic tomorrow night. And I'm real excited about that. And I'm still not done putting the video together, so I got to get that done. I've got all the audio recorded, but I got to finish the filming part and the editing part. But that'll be ready for you tomorrow at 8 p.m., and we'll be excited about that and be here for that. Jason says, Klobuchar did talk about election integrity, called for paper ballots. Did she really? I might have been putting my tie on at that moment. I got to watch that again. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Someone mentioned paper ballot backup. Okay, all right. And it was Klobuchar. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. I missed that. But my Facebook, I was in a watch party. I was hosting a watch party for the debate. And it froze at least 4 times. And I had to reload the page. So I missed some stuff. And then I did spend about 15 minutes of the debate getting ready for this feed and setting up the feed. So I missed it in that period of time. But that's good to know that somebody did bring it up. I'm glad to hear that. But this has been a Hindsight News special report to talk about the debate. And we've just been hanging out talking about the Democratic debate that took place tonight. If there's anything that you want to talk about or get to, let me know real quick. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up pretty soon. And I will see you guys again tomorrow for the Daily Burn at 7 and Conspiracy Theories and Chill at 8 p.m. But thanks for hanging out and watching this Hindsight News special report, and there'll be more of these coming forward. Hindsight News is also going to be a regular show, and its regular night is going to be Mondays at 8 p.m. Central. All the times that I mentioned, it's always going to be Central times. So catch Hindsight News on its regular night on Mondays, and Conspiracy Theories and Chill tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.